globe, latitudes and longitudes. The earth is too big for anyone to see the whole of it at one time. We can see only a part of it. To study the earth, we can make a small model of it. This model resembling the earth helps us to study the various features in a better way. The globe. A globe is a model of the earth. It gives us a true picture of the shape of the earth. The continents and oceans are shown correctly on a reduced scale. Distances and directions are also correctly represented. Globes are of varying sizes. The small ones are handy and can be carried easily. The globe shows not only the important details of the Earth's surface but also helps in understanding the movements of the Earth. A globe is mounted on an axis and can spin just like the Earth. Since the Earth's axis is tilted, the axis on the globe too is shown in the same manner. The big needle fixed through the globe is the imaginary axis on which the Earth rotates. The two ends of the axis are called the North Pole and the South Pole respectively. The globe has lines drawn on its surface which form a criss-cross pattern called the grid. The lines cut each other at right angles. The east-west lines are called parallels of latitudes, while the north-south lines are called the meridians of longitudes. The latitude which divides the globe into two equal halves is known as the equator. This is the longest latitude and is numbered as 0-degree latitude. The half of the earth north of the equator is called the northern hemisphere and the southern half is called the southern hemisphere. Parallels or latitude. A latitude is the angular distance of a place north or south of the equator as measured from the center of the earth. All latitudes are circles which are parallel to the equator. These are drawn in an east-west direction and are measured in degrees. There are 90 latitudes in the northern hemisphere, which are termed as northern latitudes, while 90 latitudes in the southern hemisphere are termed as southern latitudes. These are indicated with the letter N and S respectively. Example, London is 51 degree north while Sydney is 33 degree south. The size of these parallels decreases as we move polewards. The North Pole and the South Pole are the smallest latitudes, not bigger than a dot. Important latitudes: 90-degree north, North Pole; 66.5-degree north, Arctic Circle; 23.5 degree north, Tropic of Cancer. 0 degree, equator. 23.5 degree south, Tropic of Capricorn. 66.5 degree south, Antarctic Circle. 90 degrees south, South Pole. Heat zone. The parallels or latitudes divide the Earth into 3 heat zones on the basis of the amount of heat received from the sun. These 3 heat zones are torrid zone, temperate zone, and frigid zone. Torrid zone. Torrid means hot. The belt on the earth that lies between the equator and the two tropics, Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, receives direct rays of the sun and experiences high temperature throughout the year. This belt is also called the tropical zone. The southern half of India lies in the torrid zone. It is because the Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of India. Temperate zone. Temperate means moderate, that is, neither very hot nor very cold. The areas on the earth lying between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere are the two temperate zones. Here, the sun's rays are always slanting and it is neither too hot nor too cold. Frigid zone. Frigid means cold. The areas on the earth lying between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere are two frigid zones on the earth. The sun never rises above the horizon in these areas. The rays fall extremely slanting and do not carry much heat. These regions remain very cold throughout the year. The amount of heat reduces as we move towards the poles. Longitude or meridian. A longitude is the angular distance of a place east or west of the prime meridian. These are lines of reference drawn in the north-south direction from the North Pole to the South Pole and measured in degrees. They are semicircles and the distance between them decreases towards the poles where all longitudes meet. All these meridians are of equal length. Geographers chose the longitude running through the British Royal Observatory at Greenwich near London as the first or prime meridian, and this was numbered as 0 degree. The other half of this line is the 180-degree longitude and it is named as the International Date Line. The watches have to be adjusted when one crosses this international date line. On maps, This line is drawn in a zigzag manner so as to avoid crossing any land, to avoid any confusion in time. The number of longitudes is 360, 180 in the eastern hemisphere and 180 in the western hemisphere. These are indicated as E and W respectively. Example, New Delhi lies on longitude 77° east, while New York lies on 74° west longitude. Longitudes and latitudes together cut each other and form a network called the grid. This helps us in locating any place on the globe. For example, if you want to find the location of Tokyo, find its latitude and longitude. Where these lines intersect on the map, that point is the exact position of Tokyo. Longitudes and time. Longitudes have one more function. They help us to calculate time. Local time. The sun is the best timekeeper. The earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. It means it takes 4 minutes for each degree to pass in front of the sun. When any meridian is facing the sun, all places on that meridian will have midday or noon. Each meridian will have its own specific time, which will be different from that of the other. This time is called the local time. As the earth rotates from west to east, places east of Greenwich will be ahead of Greenwich time, while places west of Greenwich will be behind it. Would you like to calculate time? The earth completes a rotation 360° in 24 hours. That is 15° in 1 hour or 1° in 4 minutes. If it is midday on the prime meridian, the time on 15° east meridian will be 15 multiplied 4 is equal to 60 minutes or 1 hour ahead of 0°. That is 1 p.m. On 15° west meridian, it will be 1 hour behind. That is 11 a.m. Standard meridian. Local time on different meridians is different. This leads to a lot of confusion. To avoid this, every country chooses a central meridian, which is called the standard meridian of that country. The local time on this meridian is adopted as the standard time of the country. In India, the longitude of 82.5° east, which passes through the Mirzapur city near Allahabad, has been selected as the standard meridian of India. And the time on this meridian is the standard time for the whole country. This is called the Indian Standard Time or IST. Time zone. The standard time of different countries is not the same. India's standard time is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of that of Greenwich because India is to the east of Greenwich. When it is 12 midnight in the UK, it will be 5:30 a.m. in India. The world is divided into 24 time zones of 1 hour each. each zone covering 15 degree of longitudes.